Well, you better say something before.
Here we are. Another
air.
episode of STCPod. I'll be your co-host, Bill. With me, as always, is Joe.
Yo.
This is just a 1 hour or so hack and sack of topics and ideas.
Well, today is going to be 56 minutes. Right on.
Because why? You're the boss?
Strict time limit.
Really?
There's producing that needs to be done.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the big producer.
Can we talk about it? Can we talk about your latest... Oh, there's my...
Well, I'm sure you want to make fun of it, so go right ahead.
I don't want to make fun of it. Hey, I want to thank anyone for tuning in because Joe made us start 45 minutes early from the scheduled start time. So,
9 o'clock start.
Well, I always put 9:15 because you're always 15 minutes late. So you came on and said you're ready to go now. I had to snap my two heels together and
Well, you were surprisingly quick. So
yeah,
I knew you were waiting.
No, I wasn't waiting.
What were you doing?
Anyways,
what were you doing?
Dork is here, and Einstein disguised as Robin Hood. What a great line is here. The episode title is "I Need a Favor." That alludes to something I reached out to Joe for earlier this week. We'll get into that story later, right?
I don't even know what you're talking about now. But
okay, we'll get into that later. It's nothing.
Favor.
Yeah. It was about friendship. We'll talk about friendship a bit later. Me and Joe's having Joe as a friend. What was I doing? I was playing a little bit of that Subnautica again. I hadn't played it in about a week, so I
almost turned it on today for the first time.
I say go for it. I think I made a mistake when I created it. Remember I told you it was kind of like Minecraft where you have to manage and explore and then manage yourself with food and water and stuff. And when you started the game, you could have chose different levels to play at. One being like Minecraft, creative, where you don't have to worry about food and drink. You just explore and have fun. That's what I should have did. Because anytime you want to go on some kind of explore and adventure in this game, you got to spend like hours getting enough supplies ready, like real life, so you don't starve out there. So it's kind of a drag. That's a drag. And I don't know what they were thinking, but you can't switch modes mid-game. So I'm about 7 hours in. And if I wanted to go to creative, I'd have to start a whole new game. So if you were to do it, I know you're going to say like you're a hardcore gamer and you're super tough, but if you just want to go have some fun, just do it on creative. I don't think you're going to miss out on anything much other than this added layer of having to pack supplies everywhere you go.
Wait, what did you pick again? Explore?
I forget what the mode was called. Survival. It's called survival. So you not only explore, but you have to stay alive.
Yeah, I don't think I would like that. It sort of reminds me of like I've got games like that, and I thought they'd be really cool. Like, what's one that I ordered? Like Flame in the Flood for the PS4.
Oh, right. I wanted to try that. Yeah,
and it's fun. It's it's linear, but it's in that extent where you're constantly on the hunt for items of survival, like not just food, but like. You could be walking and you get stung or bitten by something. So now you're poisoned. So now you got to find an antidote or craft an antidote. And you're always like, that's always in your head as opposed to, sort of more like you said, enjoying the actual game. I passed on it. I passed on starting it up today just because I wanted to put some more time into that Horizon Zero Dawn, which I did.
Well, it's not only having the food, like there's fish aplenty in this ocean world you're exploring, but you got to cook it too, or it'll spoil on you. And the water, you gotta farm this certain fish that'll give you water, and then it won't, and if you have like bleach, then you can have bigger water. It's like
It's a lot of work. You got to be in the mindset for it. And like you said, sometimes you just want to explore. You just want to enjoy the game. I'll still check it out.
All right. So I talked to you. I guess this is turning into a game podcast right now. Sorry about that. But Joe is started Horizon
who you
of the Zero Dawn. I'm apologizing to you. How about that?
Because it turned into a game podcast. It's a whatever we want to talk about podcast.
As I was saying, on my behest, you started Horizon of the Zero Dawn, and you're loving it.
Yeah.
Again, I was right.
Hey Siri.
Oh.
When did Horizon Zero Dawn come out?
Okay, I found this on the web for when did Horizon Zero Dawn come out.
Well, I didn't say Horizon, but 2017. So 18, 19. Okay, so I'm 4 years behind. But I'm glad I finally took the initiative to start it, and well worth the wait. It is an excellent game. I just finished. I don't know if you remember this. I finished. I guess the main Banuk mission in the upper north Iceland, where me and the shaman and her brother go into the mountain, and we destroy the mountain complex, but the red demon guy is still over in some other complex. And the shaman died. So now I got to go find some device to help me in my battle against, I forget what they call the daemon. It's like Hephaestus or something like that. It starts with an H. Some Greek name. But the map's fully opened up. Really enjoying it, man. I don't know how many hours I put into it, but I'm sure the wife is getting upset. I let my 6-year-old play today. I let her... because I don't do any of like the warping from one campfire to another. I actually do the straight walk. Well, actually, I run. So I had her run 3,000 steps to my next target area.
Well, sometimes you got to go all the way across the map, though.
That's what I did. Yeah, but while you're doing it, you're fighting. You're building up,
totally. That's
your health and your strength against the other guys.
Yeah. Then you get, oh, geez, I want to try that herd out. And suddenly just getting from point A to B is taking you 2 days because you're stopping everywhere.
Yeah. And I helped somebody who was just convicted of killing a crime that he didn't do. Or he was going to be exiled. Sorry.
Yeah, I did no side stuff.
So that chewed up a half hour. But I did what you did. Someone was calling for help on the side of the road, and I just put my hand up in their face and said, nope.
Keep going.
No time for you.
Yeah. If I completed it, I think I did maybe one side mission. So if I were to go back, there's probably just
I'd like
so
to know
many hours left.
I'd like to know how you beat the part that I did last night, which was that part inside the mountain. Because you find out that the daemon is created a new batch of monsters, and they're like the I don't know what they're like. They look like a big brown bear or black bear, but souped up. And this was like some new hyper version of it. And it was only one of them. And I couldn't beat him for over an hour, and I almost put the game down and called it quits. And then my last try of the evening last night, like around 11:30, I finally was able to take him down. Because I'm not using any of the trap wires or anything. I'm just using my sharpshooter bow and bombs.
You're gonna have to learn.
I prefer to stick with one weapon and master it.
Well, okay, you've done that. Now you're gonna have to use slings. You're just gonna have to.
Yeah, but my sharpshooter is stronger though. Like the sling was only doing like 20 damage.
It's because you haven't upgraded them.
So I would have loved to have seen you play that part.
I don't even remember what you're talking. Is it an underground thing where it's like a huge arena to fight in, and you have to take them out?
You had to climb off inside of a mountain, and then there's like this nodule hanging down the center of the room, and we overrode, those stupid towers that emit those purple pulses that heal the enemies right away, no matter what you do to them. So I had to disable one of those, and then this massive Alaskan souped up grizzly bear on roids came out, and so you must have done it because it was part of the story.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But if there's ever a reason to get the PS5, this would be it. Curious, I have no idea at the moment how they're going to continue on with the story, even though I'm not done yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, because it is a very satisfying ending. Like, you sit there and go, yes, I get you.
Does she finally make out with somebody?
No, you don't get to
She's so hot. I don't know how people aren't just jumping her in the game.
We'll move on from games soon. Got people dropping because we're talking about games too much.
Okay.
Got James and Kyle here too.
Hey, James. James and Kyle.
Yeah, James. I'd like to pull James aside, have a little conversation with him.
You leave my buddy James alone.
Little convo. Why are we helping Joe out? Why are we helping Joe?
Gets upset over and over.
Why? Who does Joe support? Don't know.
Any other game talk? What else am I doing? That's the only game I'm playing right now, actually.
I almost played Doom finally on the Xbox One. I put the disc in, and then it said needed an update, and the install was like an hour. So I'm like, well, looks like I'm watching a movie instead. So that didn't happen, but I'm one step closer to trying it.
Which one's this?
Doom.
Which one? We showing the gun? We put your... Yeah, where's the guns? Pull the sleeve up, man.
Oh, I had to put them away there. Slow down, guys. The modern one. Not the latest one, but the modern one.
I don't know. There's so many, just like the Wolfenstein games. I get them all mixed up.
Oh, yeah. I got to get back into that. Yeah, James, apparently Joe went to your house and picked some stuff up, but he's not handing me over any of the stuff that you gave him. So
he didn't give me anything for you because he still had to find it.
I don't know. And I know that
Bill's worried I'm keeping it for myself.
The only way Joe goes to someone's house is if he's getting something. So
no, that's not true.
I don't know. James said as soon as Joe comes over, he's got this stuff for me, but did not get it.
Yeah, well, you
did not get
you. It's all gimme, right, Paul? Anyway, I didn't know James lived so close.
Really? See, that's what I mean, James. How long have we been telling him? Every time you guys meet, James like, just live down the road from me, Joe. Yeah. So, but you're still giving him stuff.
Yeah, okay. Make some more shit up.
Who is?
Literally like minutes away.
Well, I congratulate James for living in such an upscale neighborhood. Good work, sir. Minutes away from Joe in the Palisades.
Okay.
Okay. So, what else you want to talk about? You got me here early, so I had no time to prepare my thoughts.
Oh, I'm sure you got lots of boring stuff you want to talk about. I busted out the power washer today.
Your power washer?
My powerful water pick of a power washer.
I don't think we call it a power washer.
No, that's why I called it a water pick. I had to do the deck and then the front what does she call it? The front stoop. She wanted me to power wash, and the garage doors. And then she wanted me to scrub the deck and power wash that.
Has she seen your power washer?
She's going to use it. She wonders why it takes 18 hours to do the fence.
Well, that's unnecessary, the fence.
No, it is necessary. No one wants to look at a gray, dirty fence.
Your power washer is not bringing it to any magical state.
It brings it right back to light brown.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
Golden almost.
No.
It does.
No. That's a huge waste of time.
You don't know.
It'll be gray in a week.
It changes gray like in about another year or 2 years, and then you do it again.
It's pointless.
So it's time to do it again this year. Pointless. You're just lazy. That's all.
You're always looking for excuses to get to like what? I don't know.
You're just lazy. Get out there and do something.
I would love to. It's raining every day.
I was doing it in the rain.
That's crazy. Which
I got my order from Home Depot that another bag of grass seed arrived. So I went and got that. And then while it was raining, I was out there seeding and putting more topsoil down on the front grass.
Everyone, you're so worried what everyone thinks about your property.
No.
Yes, it is.
You should take care of your property.
I'm sure most people do take care of their properties. And there's some people that, think it's going to be on the cover of Home and Garden.
No. And then there's some people like you that don't.
Oh, I do.
Do you take care of your front grass?
Of course.
And your back grass?
Yes. I'm fighting with it every year. You know that.
You fight and then you give up after like 2 weeks.
I fight with it every year. In fact,
it's a constant struggle, man.
I did 2 rounds of grass seed so far this year, and the squirrels have went to town on the grass seed. It's just no win against these
you got to
squirrels.
water it. You can't just put it down and then not water it.
It's raining. That's what happens in the spring.
You also have to water it throughout the year.
No, you let it go dormant so you don't waste resources.
It goes dormant at one time, and that's called the winter.
No.
Yes. It is possible to actually kill your grass by making it go dormant in the summer.
No, that's what it's made to do, is to go dormant in the high heat.
Then why are you fighting with your grass? Why are you putting down grass seed?
It was a fight ever since the house was built because the builders sodded it with grub-filled sod.
They all do.
So it's been a fight. And they took away all of our topsoil. Then they came back and laid a minute little layer of topsoil. And then, believe this, after they put that topsoil down, they left it throughout April and May. So most of it rained away, washed away in the rain, and then they threw sod on top of whatever was left in June. And then I had to pay to water it every day of the hottest summer that year because these builders, that's how they did it. I was not happy.
You water it every summer when it's hot.
No. Once it's established.
No, that is not the case.
What do you think people do who have like 2 acres of lawn? Do you think they water it?
If they're on well water, yeah.
Well, when I was growing up, we had quite a bit of property and well water, and it was certainly outlawed to water the lawn.
How's anybody going to know?
It was outlawed because we would run out of water.
Oh.
Oh, we all just don't live on this heavenly, utopia that is around Joe, where the resources spring naturally from the fields like a manna.
Hey, I pay for my water, man.
I know.
If I have 2 acres, I guess what? I'm not watering it unless it's free water. I'll water a certain section closest to the house that you use, but 2 acres is a lot, so you can't say 2 acres. But you're not living on 2 acres.
When I was having to water it, when it was brand new sod during the summer, the water bill was $300 a month.
Yeah.
Who can afford that?
You water, well, you do it every other day.
Yes, that was $300 a month.
How much were you watering it? I think you're over watering it. Get Mark Cullen on the phone.
So these squirrels, man, like, not only are they eating my grass seed, of course they attack my bird feeders as well. So as most days off, I spend fighting with the squirrels around my bird feeders. So I catch this one hunting around my bird feeder, and I get out there and I got a couple tennis balls on the back deck. So I grab a tennis ball and I'm hoofing it at the squirrel. It takes off. I grab another tennis ball. As he's running, I hurl that tennis ball at him. He does this jump over it, and then out of the sun comes this robin like Maverick, strafing down at the squirrel at the same time as he's dodging my tennis balls. Boom! Robin pecks at him, flies back up. He's running from another tennis ball, strafes back down. Robin attacks him again. I'm like, hey, I got a wingman here in this war against the squirrel. This robin just went to town on him. So wherever one of the trees in the back must have a robin's nest or something. I felt pretty proud of that robin, though. It was quite a moment for me. A moment of pride. I like how I'm telling a great, great funny story and there's zero reaction from you.
That was not great, but
that was great and it was funny.
I'm happy that you're happy about it.
You should have seen it. I wish there was
I wouldn't be
videotape
seeing
on
it because I wouldn't be doing any of that.
No, you're busy. You're busy taking
I'm busy.
a piss power washer to a fence board.
I'm busy working 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
That's the life, man.
So yeah, that's my days off. Feeding bird feeders, scaring off squirrels. I put a prototype squirrel anti-squirrel system on the one feeder where it's like a slinky you put on the pole, literally a slinky. This is a prototype though, because I couldn't find a metal slinky. I could only find a plastic one from the dollar store. And the strategy is, as the squirrel grabs the slinky to climb up, of course, the slinky just pulls him right back to the ground and he can get no leverage. So I've been working with that, but the plastic one, it doesn't have enough, has too much flexibility. So the squirrel just reaches around and gets back up. And I watched a chipmunk hit that pole, shot right up the middle of the slinky up the pole and jumped right on the bird feeder. And, you guys, maybe airsoft gun is next. What do you think?
The amount of effort you put into this.
What do you want? What do you want? Bird feed's expensive.
Don't do it.
I like birds, not squirrels. And then the squirrel will just sit on top of the fence and circle his tail while he's looking at you. Like, you don't have a chance, buddy. As soon as you leave, bird.
Yeah, they also eat at nighttime too.
There is a ton of squirrels in my neighborhood.
Yeah. I was chugging through some more of Clone Wars tonight. I'm on season 5 now, episode 1.
I got to get back in that. That's pretty far.
I think there's only 7 seasons, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, you got to get into it. It's weird. It's one of those shows where I don't know what it is with shows. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's not on at the moment, I can't bring myself to turn it on, but once the show is on, I can sit down and actually start watching it.
That's how we were brought up.
It doesn't matter what it is. Like even with Game of Thrones, it was like, do I feel like watching an episode? No. And then as soon as it's on, it's like, oh yeah, this is awesome.
This is psychological. It's how we were brought up. It's how we are we're not comfortable with streaming because we were brought up being programmed by television programmers. This is what you're going to watch at this time. So it's in our nature just to sit down and see what's on.
Yeah, and I like that.
And that's right. But I've recently gone through some adjustments, and there's not so much for me what's on anymore. And there is an immediate feeling of loss. Like I don't know what to do now sitting in front of the TV. Meanwhile, there's a billion shows ready on demand. But you're like a child because you've been shown what to watch the entire time. You've been programmed. So now I got to learn how to program myself, which I'm getting the hang of. And it's good. And I don't miss the other stuff that I may or may not be missing, meaning like the reruns of the same show over and over again that you just happen to be watching because that's what was on when you turn the TV on.
Even though you do watch reruns of shows on demand sometimes.
I don't.
Really?
Why would I do that? Why would I launch a rerun? Are you talking maybe watching a movie over again? So that's happened.
Or a show. You've talked about shows that you've put on again.
I don't think so.
I don't mind watching reruns.
Oh, okay. I'm calling myself a liar because I'm watching Voyager again on demand. Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, yeah. It's like reruns are fine, man. You just got to.
Yeah.
Like a Seinfeld comes on, I'll watch that.
Right, but if it's only available if you turn it on demand, will you still do it? No, you need it programmed for you.
Well, it's not that. It's more of being surprised.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember this episode. This is good. And then you start sitting and watching it.
That's why there's value in having shows programmed for you. There is value in broadcasting.
Well, because people like to be told what to do, despite what everyone says.
But that's changing, right? Our kids don't watch TV.
Kids are fucking stupid sometimes.
I bet you there'll be a renaissance again where it's rediscovered live programming.
And people just like everything else is cyclical in life.
It'll be nostalgic to have stuff programmed. So I did subscribe to for Amazon here in Canada. There is an additional service called Stack TV that gives you access to a certain broadcaster's bevy of channels, and it includes live broadcasting as well, but all their stuff on demand. So I've been watching a few new shows on there, some home improvement shows and whatever, some food shows, that kind of stuff. But it's hilarious because when you're watching a show on demand on this stacked TV business, wherever there'd be a commercial break, what do you think they do?
Don't they usually throw in like a 30-second commercial or something?
Exactly. They give you a promo. What do you think the promo's for?
Another one of their shows?
It's a promo for Stack TV, which I'm already paying for. So why are you giving me a promo for that? Drives me bonkers.
Because that can be applicable anywhere, anytime, whereas a paid product from a company is only applicable for a certain period and time period. It doesn't need and has to be changed.
I get you. I don't want anything because I'm already paying for it. I'm paying for it, so I don't want any promos. It's certainly not a promo for something I'm already paying for, and I don't want a commercial either.
Yeah. There's no value in if you're paying for something already. I don't think there's any value in watching a promo for another product from the same service because you're already paying for that service. All you're doing is just irritating. What I don't like is some of them have a what is it? Is it you can't fast forward on any of them? I've been watching a couple sometimes where it's I can't fast forward on the event.
That's right. I think those are the free streamers,
which is the frustrating part.
Yeah, those ones you're pretty limited to.
I'm like, yeah, I decided to turn it on and watch it. Why can't I just watch whatever I want out of it? Anyway, speaking of TV, there's Is it Disney Plus that has that new service, Stars?
Yep.
Is that Disney Plus? You
Yep.
might like this. I might check it out, but because I know you're into that female wrestling shit. There's a new wrestling show coming on called Heels, HEELZ, on Stars. I don't know much about it. All I know is it starts August 15th, and what was it again? Two brothers, one a ring heel and the other a heel, grapple over their late father's wrestling promotion business while vying for national attention in small town Georgia. So I don't know if you'd be interested in that. I might check it out. Main cast member is Stephen Amell.
You mean it's not real? It's a drama?
Yeah, it's a TV show. Yeah, no, it's not real.
Ugh.
It's made by Michael Waldron. What did I pull up on him there? He's worked on Rick and Morty, Loki, Heels, and Doctor Strange in the multiverse. But so it's got that Stephen Amell, the Green Arrow guy. And then I guess his brother is, I think it's the son from that Viking TV show. It looks like him. Alexander Ludwig. I don't know. I saw a promo for it. It actually looks really good.
How come you'll watch that, but you won't watch Glow?
Because I'm not into female wrestling. And you only watched it because Mark Maron.
Well,
so
he was great in it.
No.
So, and the ladies were great.
It's not that's right. I tuned into it because I knew Mark Maron was going to be on it.
Yeah. What's the problem?
Oh, I'm just calling a spade a spade.
It was still good, and it has your wrestling backdrop, kind of, as a backdrop to the show.
Not into watching female wrestlers.
Do you think it's just watching female wrestling?
Would you watch it if Mark Maron wasn't on it? Oh, yeah, I would.
He was not in every episode, sir. And I still watched it.
What was his character in the show? Who was he?
He was the producer, the promoter.
Oh. So not an insignificant part.
I don't know what your point is.
I win.
You don't win. You'll watch this other one because it's dudes with their shirts off.
Yeah. Well, I prefer to watch dudes wrestling than women wrestling.
That's an issue.
Oh, shit. What was it? I got a text here. Email from Disney again. Just because it's the whole May the 4th bullshit. They sent out this promo here, the Bad Batch. Right. And it's actually the first promotion of it that I've seen.
Well, it launched today.
Yeah. But so they got the Bad Batch. And then, no, not that one. Star Wars Biomes.
Yeah, I checked that out today, actually.
So you can tour the planets on the show or the movies. And then they've got this vehicle fly through.
Yeah, I checked that out too.
What is this shit? Is it good?
It's like 4-minute clips where there's essentially they're doing that.
Is it cheap like the rides that you go on? Like you pretend you're sitting in a simulator kind of thing? No,
it's just the camera is floating around the ship inside and out, showing you all the bits, and there's no narration, no people. It's like a cutscene from a video game. They're about 4 minutes long.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I didn't watch the Biomes one. I think that's just one big, all the locations together, same idea.
I picture what was that? Like that those old school travel shows you'd find on the Italian channels or the travel channels where you're today we're going to go to I don't know, one of the coasts in Italy, and you're flying like through a helicopter, traveling along the coastline, and they're playing music, like calming music in the background. That's how I sort of figured the Star Wars biome thing would be.
I think that's it. Exactly.
I was trying to think of the Amalfi Coast. That's what it was. So anyway, yeah, that's interesting. And then Castlevania Season 4 starts May 14th on Netflix. I got to go back and watch the first 3. I barely remember what happened in the third one.
I didn't watch it.
You watch any of it?
No, I didn't like the animation style that I saw.
Did it remind you of D?
D?
Yeah, Japanese anime.
D?
D, the letter D.
What is D?
It's a vampire anime that's like back from the 80s or something like that, 80s, 90s. It had that similar style of animation.
No. Poser. I just like animation.
Stick to your hippie music.
I like animation that's smooth and has more than 3 frames a second. I like to see.
Yeah. There's different types of animation style.
Yeah. We don't need to get into it again, but I like not where it's just 1 frame on a guy's face for 3 minutes and only his lips move.
No, this isn't
Dragon
like Ball.
That's what it looked like. It was going to be like, so.
Listen, obviously it's not for you.
Well, it wasn't. That's why I didn't watch it.
You're missing out. Hey, in 6 days, I can officially try and get my shot.
Yeah, both of us.
Yeah. Good luck. Meanwhile, where our American friends are like on their second shots and out doing shit.
Yeah. Or they're refusing it altogether.
Yeah. We had a couple of protesters organize something. Protesting against a lockdown at one of the parks in the neighborhood. I don't know how many people showed up. But like, you know, no masks, all that kind of stuff. Like, you fuck, these are, and I could just picture these people, what they were like.
Well, they got no brains.
What?
One. They got no brains.
No brains. Probably no fucking jobs. No teeth. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, and yet they don't get sick from this. Or if they do, they just carry it silently to get the rest of us in our grocery stores. Well, I was talking about that Stack TV. I caught up with the Island of Brian show, which
yeah,
I never had that channel before. It's on the Canadian Home and Garden channel.
Yep.
So it's one of these Toronto contractors who made it big on the Canadian TV circuit, Brian Baumler, and I guess at one point, him and his wife, who's she's a designer, she designs and he builds. They came across this island in the Bahamas with a rundown resort that's been abandoned for a few years, and they end up buying it, and they've spent the last 4 years building it back up.
4 years now, 2 years wasted because of the pandemic.
So they made the show around it, which is.
I think I watched the one last night, though, the one that you were telling me about, where they went to they bought a house in Florida.
Yeah.
Did you tell me about that one?
Well, I was talking to you when they went back to Canada and they showed off their home base in Canada, and that home is
they
crazy.
Did that on the one I watched, but that was the same one where they also showed they bought a house in Florida just so they could sort of jump back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's crazy too.
Yeah, but they're not doing anything to the Florida house.
Right, because they
might
rent it out or something.
Well, they're not sure if they want to keep. They said if they're gonna get a house permanently in Florida, they're gonna build, not buy existing.
Yeah, well, because she's crazy with her designs. Anyways, so they have to rebuild this island as all these villas, plus there's a hotel block, all run down. So if you like watching construction stuff, this is just full of content because there's so much work that has to be done, as well as battling the elements of living oceanside with salt water and the sand and the coconuts and all that. And God damn it, he's a pretty good personality too.
They're not battling coconuts in ocean water. They're battling because the hotel is actually on an island. So all the supplies they need have to be boated in.
Yeah.
After they're flown to the Bahamas from like North America.
Yeah, there's all kinds of everything they need they don't have unless they got to get it boated in. So yeah, that's also a thing. But no, I mean, like once you get your rooms up and built, even though they know they don't have vacancy for 3 months, you have to keep it climatized, air conditioning running and all that, because all the rooms will just deteriorate again if you let that heat and humidity and salt water get back in there. So it's a pretty good show about the challenge of having to do this. They sometimes crowbar in a little bit of let's go see what the kids are doing, bump bump bump, hijinks music. Luckily they keep that very contained and then get back to the construction. But I've been liking it. It's a good show. I'm just shocked how much money they have. The amount of money they have is jaw-dropping when you see their assets.
I think they're spread pretty thin though. Right?
How many times are you going to throw up on this show?
How many times my beer makes me throw up?
Just in your head, think Melissa is listening to this, and is that a nice way to present yourself to her? Put that.
Just think in your head. Do you think she really cares?
Yes,
really.
I think everyone does actually, because they have it in their headphones.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Listen, they find it amusing.
Right. Anyways, we're talking about the life of Brian on the Home and Garden Show channel. Yes. What were you saying about it?
A sponsor of this show as well.
Sorry, what were you saying? I thought you were going on about something before you threw up.
Well, I was, and then you.
Oh, you said they're spread pretty thin, but I don't know. They show their properties that they own, and what do you think their house in Canada is worth?
I don't think they'll pay. Well, the Canada one might be paid for. Now.
But what do you think of the ticket prices on it? I was trying to figure it out. Is it 3 million or is it 15 million? Because
it's not 15 million.
The more I've seen of it, it's pretty extraordinary, property included.
Location wise, it's not even close to 15 million.
Look at the inside. Like she has entire wall.
Look where the property is located.
I would love that kind of location, as with many people.
It's all about location.
No one wants to be in a city in that kind of a house.
That's not a $15 million location.
What is it then?
It's definitely under 5.
Okay. So they got that. They have this Florida property they bought.
I remember they're surrounded by fucking forest.
That's what people want.
Shit forest. It's not the good forest. It's not scenic forestry where they've got a view. It's not like Vancouver forestry where you watch the Vancouver what's that house show they got for out in BC.
Okay. You're right.
Where you've got scenic views that are worth the extra money that you're paying. This is ground level. Yes, a big house, but correct. Surrounded by shitty pines and shitty property all around them. It's unusable.
There's no fence to wash.
Right?
You're correct. But it is the kind of location I would like. Just away enough from the city that, you still have amenities of probably water and sewer and all that, but far enough away that you're in the woods where you can dirt bike and have chickens.
The mosquito-ridden woods, yes. And yes, they do have chickens, though.
So, yeah, I'm watching the show and just baffled by how they have all the money to get this thing going, because it
This is
seems
all
like
new,
such
man. I've watched these shows as I was watching him back when he was like
this isn't a competition.
just starting.
I've seen his old shows too, but
It's
that's
like,
what's so baffling, how he built such an empire out of Canadian television.
because he's a personable, likable guy.
It seems like such a great fun idea to
I'll watch him over
buy a
some of the other
resort.
fucking douchebag home designers and builders that you see on HGTV.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like the Property Brothers, throw those two fucking douches out.
I agree. Yeah, he's great. He's got some great one-liners too.
That pretty boy on Maryland, you can throw him out too. The big
Totally
fucking
agree.
jawline.
He's one of your people.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not. I don't think we're thinking about the same guy.
Okay, I've seen his loafers.
The pretty boy guy with the perfect hair and the square jawline.
No, I'm talking about the older contractor.
No, not that guy.
Got his designer loafers, and
that guy's probably freaking loaded, man.
He is, yeah. Italian cut shirts. Yeah.
I got one more note. Do I? No, I'm out. You were going to make fun of my video. I don't know if you want to do that before the show goes off the air.
No, we have to explain the title of the show.
I did watch Biden. I don't know what the title is. I need a favor. Go ahead. I don't know what you're talking about.
What were you going to say? You were watching Biden?
Yeah, I was going to say I watched Biden's speech there that he did a few days ago. Did you watch it?
No.
It was good. It was funny watching it because as I was here watching him or listening to him talk, all I could think of was what Trump would be doing in that position, right? Stammering, stumbling, going off on tangents about bullshit.
Yeah.
And then you got Biden, who's actually like everything he said was completely positive and was only for the benefit of the country.
Yeah.
And then anytime they shot to the Republican douchebags, none of them were clapping.
Yeah.
They're all sitting on their hands. Who's the oh shit, they showed the KKK guy. What's his name? Crap, the old white guy.
Mitch McConnell?
Yeah. Biggest sourpuss on his face. And then the other guy with the beard that got elected like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
At one point, Ted, his eyelids, it was a perfect timing of the camera because his eyes were drooping to the point where he was looking at Biden and then his eyes drooped shut. They opened and then they drooped shut again and then they cut away camera-wise. He was ignorant enough to be falling asleep.
Yeah. This is how the society, I guess the Republicans want to perpetuate, where it's your side versus my side, tribe versus tribe. I heard he would even say statements such as, "We want to end child poverty," and a Republican refuses to clap for that.
Yep.
How does that make any kind of sense? We want healthcare as a right, not a privilege. I refuse to clap to that.
Yeah. Like I said, it was all, none of it was like,
it's sickening.
Only to benefit the Democratic Party. It was to benefit the United States as a whole.
It's why nothing gets done.
And God damn it, man. It was funny and frustrating and sad all at the same time.
It's a failure of their leaders. Their leadership showing no leadership.
He really did have a good speech. Like it's nothing I wouldn't expect any less from Biden. So
sorry, Melissa, about that.
You know, Melissa's she's a grown woman. She can take care of herself. You don't need to apologize.
Just looking after our
You
listenership.
don't need to look after anybody except for yourself.
I do have headphones on. I am looking
Yes.
after myself. Your gurgling gastrations
Then why
are
are you
far
smiling?
from pleasurable.
Why are
Oh,
you
yeah.
smiling? Yeah,
Oh.
there you go.
Yes. This is another one of your alpha signs.
Yeah.
Say, don't mess with me.
No, it's we're having fun. Sorry we're not boring and dull like half the dumb fucking podcasts out there. Want me to name a couple?
Yes.
No. Sorry. You know who you
guy.
are. They know who they are.
Okay. So, speaking of other shows, viewers of this channel know that we have a weekly live vinyl show on this Start to Continue YouTube channel where we have a panel of guests that always talk about what they've been listening to, interesting stuff in their record collection and other collections. And I like to have at least 4 people on there so you get a nice screen packed with faces, right? Because if you have 3, then these 2 windows we're looking at go really small and one goes underneath, and it's a lot of dead space.
Well, I've watched podcasts where 3 looks just as good as 4 because they're all the same size.
So
unexpectedly,
I had some cast members drop off, and I was running through some other people, and I'm busy. I can't. Sorry, I really appreciate it, but I can't make it this time.
Hey, I'm really don't care about your show.
Things
to do.
They're getting back to me anyways. With sorry, can't do it. Whatever.
Yeah.
So
you got to read between the lines, though, too.
So I went. You know what? My best friend Joe is probably not doing anything tonight, and after a year of having this show. And he's a big record guy on top of that, from what we know from his channel, Video Games and Collectibles.
Yep.
I said, I'm going to reach out to Joe.
We'll be shooting a vinyl pickup video tonight, by the way. So,
that's
stay
exciting.
tuned for that tomorrow, guys. Check out Video Games and Collectibles for a vinyl pickup video.
You can't do that next because you shot part 1 of your TikTok video last episode. So we liked and subscribe, so we're still waiting for part 2 of your TikTok video.
Well, no, based on the comments from people, most people say I should keep it sealed.
Oh, okay. It is viral.
So I think I'm going to keep it sealed. And
no one would say that.
Really?
Yeah,
they did. I've got my eye on
another.
I've got my eye on another device that I'm going to buy instead. Use that one.
Then why buy the first one?
Because I wanted it from years and years ago, but I missed out on all of them. Yeah, sorry you don't believe me when I say
if you wanted it so bad, why wouldn't you use it if you wanted it? You can download a picture of it.
I like my things mint and sealed box. For the majority of things that I have, for some reason, it's a condition. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And I honestly couldn't bring myself to opening it. Anyway, continue on with your bashing story of me.
Not bashing. I'm just telling a story. What happened? So I reached out to Joe, who we all know is a huge vinyl file and a huge knowledge base of
making fun of me right there. So
not making fun of you.
You are.
No one shows more pieces of vinyl on YouTube than Joe, and he has not spent 1 second on our live vinyl show, which is curious. So I thought, okay, regardless that he refuses to show any kind of support for this channel, even minutely, I'm going to reach out to him as a friend. So I texted him as a friend. I said, Joe, first sentence. I need a favor. I need a favor, bud. The cast is thinned out for tonight's vinyl show. Can you come on?
Is that exactly what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did. Okay.
Do people think that Joe responded to that?
I'm going to stick up for myself. You sent that at 7 p.m.
Exactly.
I told you the following day I noticed it at 9:30.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
at nighttime, I tend to leave my phone on my desk on vibrate. And that night, I was actually watching, like I do, because it's baseball season, the Jays game with my wife in the other room. So I had no idea that you had sent a text. And by the time I saw the text, I knew there was no point of responding because I would get the same sarcasm I got responding that night as I would the next time I saw you at work. So I just left it until the next time I saw you at work, and I was proven correct, where I've got the sarcastic jab at thanks for getting back to me on the show and all that stuff.
A human being, if they discovered it later on in the night, knowing that there's probably still a half hour of that show left, could come on in the half hour, or they would send a text back saying, dude, sorry, I totally didn't see this until now. That's what a human does.
Yeah, if they know they're not going to get attacked by the other human.
If you lead with an apology, would you be attacked?
Yes, I know from experience. I've been attacked.
Oh no.
Anyway, how many people did you have on? You had 3. So you weren't really thinned out. You were one less.
I was just thinking, what a great time for you to make your first appearance.
You had one less. Plenty of people to fill your content for you by having them do all the work for you.
I'm not worried about.
You were fine. You still filled what? How long was the show?
This might be the issue we're getting at. You believe this is about getting people to create content for the channel.
You still filled out your time of what? How long did you go? 3 hours that night?
That's still how crazy you're
2
thinking.
hours?
It's
2.5 hours?
It's about getting together with friends. It's not about creating award-winning content. It's just about talking with friends. It doesn't matter whose channel it's on. Matt Bandy wants to have it on his channel. We can move it over to his channel. No problem.
Well, I'm sorry I missed a riveting discussion with Einstein disguised as Robin Hood.
Why is everything a competition with you?
It's not.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Go do something else that's way better than listening to this nonsense.
Oh, really? It's back to where it's always been. Bill wiping the diarrhea off himself.
No, I'm wiping off the monkey feces you tried to throw at me.
Oh my God. Hey,
my pressure washer.
While M's here just for a second, I do want to congratulate him. I noticed one of his videos has crested 1 million. Can you believe that?
That's
a mil?
Crazy.
That is crazy. And he didn't show tits.
No flappy flapjacks.
So that's pretty crazy achievement. Congratulations on that. Whew. Without breastises. I didn't think that was possible.
All right. We're about to hit that 1 hour mark.
Oh, yeah.
So
really? Are you tied up somewhere?
Yeah, it's 9:30.
No, I only talked about one show I watched.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Well, if you did talk about your fucking birds feeder with the stupid squirrels, then you could have put in 2 more shows.
Well, I'm still going to talk to you about a movie maybe you would like. It's
all right, last thing.
Shit, I think it just went away from Amazon though. I think it said it was leaving Amazon May 1st.
Let's talk about it then.
It's called Prospect. It's a sci-fi movie, and I don't want to give a whole hearty recommendation like it's the greatest thing ever. It was okay. I just really liked the look and the feel of it. It was it was like throwback science fiction. Remember like Aliens and, original Star Trek where spaceships are all like toggle switches and buttons and everything has a feel to it, tactile, and everything's dirty. Like, the Millennium Falcon, when you first saw it, all the walls are dirty and all that. It has that look right off the top, these spaceships. They're in the movie starts in space on some kind of space station or something, giant spaceship, but it all looks like, well used and dirty and grungy. And they have this, and they're docked in they have some kind of space pod thing that they're docked to this space station in. And when they want to fly down to this planet, they have to do all these toggle switches, actually take a giant cartridge thing and put it in like a cartridge slot to make the ship go and pull the throttle down. I just liked all that tactile surface stuff. Anyways, the whole point is they have a certain amount of time before the space station takes off to go down to this planet, and they're going to do some kind of mining. They don't really get into too deep a discussion about what they're mining or
what's this called?
Prospect. They're going down there to pick up this planet's already been well mined, but they think that there's a couple deposits no one knows about. And it's this guy and his daughter. And they're just going to sneak on down there and pick up the remains of whatever is left and then get back to the space station. Of course, crisis happens, and they have to survive in this world against all kinds of odds and other people trying to steal their stash. And, something maybe happened to their space pod. So they got to find some other way off the planet before time runs out.
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal's in it. So I give it a watch it if you can, but it's not going to change your life or anything. It's got very common little tropes about it where you can see stuff coming that makes it predictable. But I just love the look of it. I like seeing that old analog stuff come back. So, you're watching Star Trek nowadays, right? And all of the control panels, even the Expanse, everything is holograms, and you're tapping imaginary buttons in the air and stuff. This harkens back to a better time in science fiction history. That's called Prospect, and it was on Amazon Prime.
Just trying to see what else. Where is it here? Chris Caldwell is one of the directors. Name sounded familiar, but I didn't recognize anything that he did. Yeah, it sounds interesting. I like that, like you said, that that dirty, hands-on feel approach to what space would be like, as opposed to Star Trek: The Next Generation, that kind of feel.
Yeah,
where everything's pristine.
Yeah, these are like poor people. Their spacesuits are like jumbled together from other parts, and it's more gritty.
How long? This came out in 2018. Is that old?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I had never heard of it. It just popped up on the Amazon business, and I'm always in the mood for something science fiction.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Oh, okay.
And finally, I want to mention I did watch the Bob Odenkirk movie, Nobody, thanks to Creeplead.
Nobody watched it.
Really?
That is right.
I don't know about that. It is worth all the hype you're hearing.
Nobody knows the things I have to do.
I don't know. Do I sing through your talk about what? So, Bob Odenkirk's Nobody. It's like a cross between Red, that Bruce Willis, where he's a retired CIA guy, cross between that and John Wick, where he just kicks everyone's ass. This guy is like a former, did something for the government where he killed people very slickly, and but he's been living the home life for a certain amount of years, kind of very much on the sly. His family may or may not have any idea of his past, but something happens where he gets tied up into like John Wick in with the Russian mob, and he's got to go kick some ass, and it gets very dire. So that was a fun movie. Includes cameos by Christopher Lloyd, plays his father. That was a lot of fun. Great conversation. I love the witty back and forth on these. It's the amount of effort.
That's what makes this show
always astounding.
As good as it is.
People watch my 2-hour live chats where it's just me going through my stuff, and they say, "How are you able to talk by yourself for that long?"
Oh,
I'm like, well, I've had training.
God gifted him with the lips that don't stop flapping.
I've had training.
Okay. Back to work tomorrow. Right?
Yeah.
Well, don't sound too excited.
Well, again, it was raining the last 2 days, so I didn't get a chance to go out and clean my vehicle. There's another story there, but we don't have time why my vehicle smells like burnt coffee. But it's a good one. We'll save that for next time. I didn't have a chance to go out there and clean it, so I'm going to have another couple days of burnt coffee smell in the vehicle.
Well, no one else would notice it except for you.
Oh,
yes, that's right.
No,
Mr. Sensitive knows.
Like you wouldn't notice that. Yes, you can notice it. And I see it too under my seat. Anyways, remind us to get to that story in a week when we come back with another STCPod podcast. Right?
Well, only if Einstein shows up. All right, wrap it up, dude. Come on.
If he subscribed to your channel, would that make it better? Einstein, can you please subscribe to YouTube?
Yep. Subscribe to all of YouTube. That's it.
Video games and collectibles make Joe happy.
Do me a favor. Don't. Do not.
So thanks everyone for joining us for another episode of STC Pod. Let Joe know, send him a DM that you'd like to see him come back next week for another episode instead of waiting 3 weeks per episode. Because
sometimes life gets in the way.
Not really.
So, well, some of us are working.
We're all working
inside and outside and at work and at home.
Stay tuned to this channel later in the week. We got the live vinyl show coming back on Friday, and we hope to have a huge cast for that. Joe, do you want to fill in for anyone on Friday?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, no room.
No, there is room.
Want to make sure Kevin will want to make up for missing last week.
I can get you in. Anyways, one day maybe Joe will support his pals, who I don't know. Thanks everyone for joining us in the chat. It's good to see all you guys. James, good to talk to you again through the chat, and Kyle and everyone else that was there. Einstein disguised as Robin Hood. That was fun seeing him there, or her. All you gotta do is sign it off, brother.
Are you done saying bye to everybody? All right. Bye, James. Bye, Kyle. Post it.